Hello. It has been a bit since I did a video and I wanted to check in. I'm trying to get better about being more consistent with videos, but I just fall into a slump sometimes where I got so much going on that I don't really stop to think about it, but I'm trying to do better about it. So I'm 90 days in to medication, and we're still kind of figuring out the dose. At first, I thought got a good, you know, initial dose that was a perfect amount for me. But as the weeks went on, it became clear that there was still issues, and I'm still trying to figure out what normal is supposed to feel like, because spending so much time feeling the way you feel, you're trying to get a readjustment of your emotional spectrum is like this normally, and it norm to be more in line with everybody else, it should be more like this. And so I had questions for my therapist about I know you're not supposed to there's no such thing as perfect mental health where everything's fine all the time. That's just not the way we work. And so I'm trying to find out what is an acceptable level of depression versus or acceptable level of high energy, because with bipolar it goes both ways, right? It's either it either goes low energy and trying to sorry, Rob interrupted me for a second. He broke my train of thought. um, it's either low energy and just deep depression, just don't want to do anything, or so worked up and excited that you irritate the hell out of everybody. And so the idea of the medication is to bring it down into a more manageable spectrum to be less offensive to everybody around me, which is the ultimate goal, right? Overall, though, things are going really well. I've been a lot more productive, which I'm very happy about. The only downside of the medication, in my opinion, has been that it has really, it's weird. On one level, it kind of like brings your brain down, so you're not so anxious and worked up and everything. But on the other level, that is the exact feelings that used to make me very get it done, get up and do it, don't put it off. And so it's been kind of interesting to deal with not having that motivation or drive, but I've been working on it to make sure that I'm keeping it up. And it's been a little bit of a challenge, but so far so good. The medication, I think, overall has been very useful. And so I just wanted to share that I know there's people watching who, you yourself, or maybe somebody you might be concerned is bipolar or ADHD or autistic. There's again, I personally think we're all spectrum. We're all on it. It's just a matter of where we fall. So, but I do want to say it has been, even though it's been very bittersweet. Because with being bipolar, you kind of, I'm wrestling with, but I'm doing better. That I can't change the past. The behaviors that I exhibited, that I thought were normal or not, and so you make peace with that, but you move forward, right? The best we can do is move forward with what we know now about ourselves, so we can be more self-aware. And some of the things you can't change, like people have symptoms even more severe that you can't change. But I'm trying to do my best to find out what are the things I can change and what are the things I can't, and try to accept that okay, we're gonna all have personality flaws that aren't our favorite part of us, but at the same time, that's just being human, right? And so ultimately, I'm just trying to find that balance. I'm just trying to find where I fit in and how I want to present myself, and do it without. I don't want excuses, right? I don't want to be like oh, I'm bipolar, so get used to it. I just don't think that's a way to do it. And again, not speaking for anybody else, because everybody deals with a different level of everything. For me personally, though, I'd really like to work on self-improvement to be proud of, what I'm doing, and knowing that even with the challenges I'm coming up, that I'm doing well, that I'm doing better, that I can be proud of it, you know? As far as if you're concerned about it, if you have questions, I definitely recommend, it can be scary to be diagnosed, you know, when you talk about, especially when the things you got to talk about with a therapist and stuff, you really want to open up and share your inner workings and stuff, because the more honest you are, the more they're going to be able to pinpoint exactly what's up with you. But I absolutely heavily recommend that if you've got any concerns, or for you or somebody you love, that push them in that direction, or definitely push yourself in that direction. It can be really intimidating, but at the end of the day, I really love knowing what I know now. Even though it was kind of a weird thing to grasp initially, I really appreciate now that knowing that I'm a certain way, I can do something about it. And I don't know, I love that. I love that, I can no longer kind of run on autopilot and just wonder why things aren't, or worse, sometimes you think like, oh, they just don't like me. And maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. But at the same time, though, it's a mixture of like the anxiety and the bipolar, that come together. And it could be, for me, the reason people get, especially if I'm in an up mood, I'm very talkative and I'm very energetic, and that can be too much for people. And I think that's a huge part of it too, right? Is coming to that understanding of what too much is. Like I've always had this feeling I'm too much for people, but I never really knew why. Like I guess in my brain it was always like I'm not one of them. I'm kind of a black sheep. I'm kind of an outsider. And then you always hear the lone wolf, blah blah blah. And in reality, it was about the fact that I didn't understand social activities and cues. And like when I was a kid, I remember seeing people being mean, and I didn't like that. Like I didn't want them to be mean. But then you'd see people like being mean for fun, and you kind of like learn like, okay, well, people like being mean, so you try to be mean, but then somebody get upset because you were mean. And so yeah, it can be a real mess. And I think today, I'm 48, and to even find out this late in life, I can still appreciate looking back and saying, wow, I've done a lot considering, my own hurdles that I've had, but I really am looking forward to where I'm going from here, and that's really what it's all about. Is you find out about your past so as a learning tool, so you can move forward with a plan and be healthier and happier for it. And that's really ultimately just all I'm looking for. I just want to feel better, and I want to feel more productive, and I want to contribute, not just to my own life, but like to society and to my partners, and just do better, right? That's really what it comes down to. But anyhow, I'm rambling here, but I did want to take an update real quick and share with everybody that so far so good. I'm really happy with the medication. I'm really happy with the direction. We're still working out the dosage of it, but so far I haven't had any side effects necessarily, aside from the lethargic feelings that I told you. But that's it. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and I hope that you get something out of it. But I want to share, because I think this is how we all can relate to each other. We share the things that sometimes maybe we don't want to share, because we're either embarrassed or we think we're going to be judged, and sometimes we will, but it's just how people are. I do think, though, that the more we share with each other, the better we can connect with each other, and I do think that's really what this is all about, right? Connecting with each other and trying to do better together. So I hope you're having a great week, and until next time, see ya. Thank you.